Good evening, friends. We are looking today at a new Royal Enfield. They say they have highly focused on originality here and are convinced that people are going to be imitating them. The Guerrilla 450. This is how the motorcycle looks. The design is adventurous and colors too are youthful and lively. It also has massive road presence and gives you a big bike feel. This is the Brava Blue, where the tank and the mudguards are mostly white, and this blue color matching the subframe and the front wheel, while the rear wheel is painted black. These are LEDs all around. There is Showa suspension here, and the front disc is 310 mm, while the rear one is 270 mm. The front tire 120 section, while the rear one 160. These are some of the fattest tires that you are going to see on a motorcycle of this class and give this bike loads of character. Talking about the seat height, it is just 780 mm and the bike weighs 185 kgs and overall fit and finish is of good quality. And here is this good looking TFT display that gives you a lot of information which you can navigate through using this joystick, which is a bit flimsy and not very accurate. Tank here is only 11 liters, which could mean frequent filling brakes if you ride aggressively. Let me show you the exhaust note. With all that out of the way, let us see how does it ride.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, riding this Guerrilla 450. The engine here is liquid cooled Sherpa 452cc, producing 40 PS of power and 40 Nm of torque. And Royal Enfield says that 80% of that torque is there from as low as 3500 RPM, which theoretically doesn't sound that low, but I think isn't a matter of concern. The motorcycle is happy to pick up pace from as low as 2000 RPM, and it's at really slow speeds that it struggles a bit. Say you're crossing a bunch of slow speed breakers, otherwise it's just fine. Another thing here is the refinement, and I must say that Royal Enfield have done a commendable job of it. The motorcycle is very smooth throughout the rev range and is just a slight buzz that you feel on the foot pegs and the handlebars. Especially for a 452cc single, I'd say that the motorcycle is very refined. Engine heat here I think is well managed for the most part, and it quickly goes away when you start moving. It's only if you're stuck in maybe slow moving traffic for a really long time, it might run a little hot. The slipper clutch here, and as slipper clutches go, I don't think it's very light. I don't know why, but it definitely feels heavy and it can be bothersome in traffic. Where this engine truly shines is the power it produces and the manner in which it's delivered. The aggressive throttle maps, as opposed to the Himalayan, make it a very engaging and thrilling ride. The motorcycle can sit at triple-digit speeds all day and still has ample grunt to overtake in any situation. The sound of the engine too is very KTM-esque, and it produces a very pleasing rumble on the move. Not to mention that whistling intake sound. It is just music to the ears. Out on the open road, all you have to do is just twist the throttle and the Guerrilla is ready to race, so to speak. The bike immediately lunges forward, and the only thing holding you back would be the wind blast at those speeds, although you do have accessories for that. Talking about handling, it can be described as a very predictable handler, and I think it is going to be enjoyable for riders of all skill levels. It is on the stiffer side, which translates to very good high-speed stability and agility. The motorcycle is very eager to change direction, and it also means that the braking is very confidence-inspiring. It does stop on a dime. Now, the stiff suspension setup, which is enjoyable in the corners, it's not going to be very enjoyable on pothole-filled roads. Both the small and big potholes, they are going to register themselves, and you will want to slow down or avoid them altogether. As it's tuned for handling, I don't think it glides through stuff, and it can get very bouncy at high speeds. Strangely enough, it does behave better when there's a pillion on board. Maybe it's because of the load, and then it's a bit more supple. Something that really sticks its neck out on such a good motorcycle is this very inadequate headlight, especially for nighttime highway rides on unlit highways. I don't think it does anything. So Royal Enfield should definitely look into this. So who is this bike really for? Well, anybody who's looking for a motorcycle that you can enjoy for its speed and its thrills, and maybe wants to do mild off-roading, can consider it. Royal Enfield here has done its best to make a new retro motorcycle while staying in the bounds of its brand image and heritage. Talking about direct competition, there are Triumphs, which are great motorcycles. They have impeccable fit and finish levels, and Bajaj and Triumph have done a great job as far as the pricing of these bikes is concerned. So it really boils down to a test ride, and only then you can understand what each of these motorcycles mean. The Triumphs, especially the Speed 400, it too has engine vibrations and sounds a bit gruff when revved out. However, the biggest thing is the design, which is understated. It is simple, sophisticated, but very understated. Another thing is the limited dealership network and the amount of kilometers you would have to travel to avail the after-sales service. So that's all about the Guerrilla, ladies and gentlemen. If you want a fast and fierce motorcycle, then I think this is it. The only thing more ferocious than this is going to be the KTM Duke 390.